Hello, this is Steve Akley, owner of the ABV Barrel Shop, and we are here at my place, the ABV Barrel Shop in Arnold, Missouri, which is a St. Louis suburb. So if you're ever traveling through St. Louis, we're an easy stop to make, just right off Highway 55, one of the main interstate highways that travels through St. Louis, and it would take you down to the city if you're going to a ball game or anything like that. So I encourage you to come by, check it out. We are the place where single barrels live. That's our tagline. I was the first one to utter that, but the recognition of the genius of that was done by my buddy Ryan Thompson, owner of 10th Mountain Distillery. He was like, hey, that's a good line. That should be your tagline when I said it. So that has been the case ever since. It actually started before the company opened up. I just mentioned it on a podcast, and he was the one that said, that's gold. That's gold, Jerry. That's gold. So that's how that got started. And it really is true. We are one of a kind. No one else does what we do. The secret sauce is you have to have a lot of friends in the bourbon industry. There are other people that certainly have access to barrels, maybe even some barrels cooler than us. I get that. We don't get a lot of the allocated barrels and things like that. Like, you're not going to walk in here and find a barrel of Blanton's or, some of the other ones. I would say Jack Daniels, but we got one because of the media company here. What I do at the ABV Network, Bourbon Media Company, allowed us to get a Jack Daniels barrel, and hopefully we're going to get another one. We flew through that barrel. Really great stuff. It was all over the internet, and that's what they were looking to accomplish by selling us a barrel, and hopefully it was good for both sides of the equation, and hopefully they're going to let us do that again. But we're not talking about that today. What we're talking about is Old Louisville. This is a new company, and relatively new, last couple of years they got going. And it was started by a guy by the name Amin Karoud and his wife Beth. And the two of them started this company. They were former liquor store owners as well, so they decided to do something a little bit different. Liked being in the alcohol business, but decided to start their own brand. They are in Louisville, Kentucky, as you can imagine with the name Old Louisville. And not on the whiskey row or anything like that. A little bit off the beaten path, more of an industrial area. But, they do have the ability to host, consumers. I think you may have to set that up and let them know that you're coming, and it's not like they have normal tours or anything like that. But you get to see the facility, you get to taste the whiskey, basically the same experience that I had when I was going to buy barrels of whiskey. So I was, of course, getting items for the shop here. And what is so cool about Old Louisville is it feels like the place was built for us. It feels like they put it together to service this business, even though it wasn't. I didn't know Amin or anything like that. But what's so cool about it is you can go and taste all these different whiskeys. These are older whiskeys. Again, they've got things in there from, I saw, between 7 and 17 years old. They do buy younger barrels that they will let continue to age. Amin said the youngest thing they'll ever sell is 7 years old. So that's kind of their business model. Anything from 7 on up, they will sell. They're always on the search for new barrels and things like that, which is pretty darn cool what they've got going there. So there's all kinds of barrels that are set out on the floor. Those are ones you can taste, but you can also go to the racks as well. And if you're an individual consumer and you taste something out of a barrel, you can literally have them pull one single bottle out of there and bottle you up that bottle that you like. For us, we get kind of the same experience on just a little bit different level. We get to, pick as many bottles as we want. So, when I went there, we bought 10 cases of one, 4 of another, 3 of one, 5 of one. So it was, an opportunity to really get some great whiskey and offer it to our audience, our consumer base, without, filling our store up, which is a pretty cool thing. And it allows for turnover too. So we got the whiskey delivery from them just over, maybe a week, 10 days ago at this point. And we've already blown through most of it. So it's some really good stuff. Our customers really have appreciated what we've got going on here. But I also wanted to present it to you guys so you know about them. And maybe you're going on a trip to Louisville, Kentucky this year. Maybe put Old Louisville on there based on what I've told you today, because it is a pretty cool place. Pretty small operation. I mean, literally, Amin is there. He had a helper when I was there that kind of helping him, bottle the things and stuff like that, move stuff around. But for the most part, it's either going to be a 1 or 2 person operation when you go. It's not like a huge distillery with a big time tour. Like, basically you have the front, which is a gift shop and stuff like that. Then you walk to the back, and that's where all the work is done. And of course, all the barrels are stored as well. Apparently, it was a former working craft brewery. I don't know the name of the brewery or anything like that, but that was there prior to them. So it was kind of set up for an alcohol business. So he has been able to take advantage of that. His company is growing. He said at some point he's going to grow out of that building. I don't know when that's going to be. As good as it is, I could see it happening sooner than later. that's for sure. So I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks telling you about Old Louisville. This is the first one today. I'm going to talk about two of our barrel picks. This one here is a Brandy finished high rye bourbon. Comes in at 104 proof, and it is 8 years old. So that is, what's going on there. It's also was barreled in a pretty special barrel of brandy. So when you walk in there, there's this old barrel, old looking barrel, You can tell the age of a barrel, or at least you think you can. Sometimes the ones that are younger do look older if there was a leaker above them or something like that. Or everybody always assumes that the ugly ones are the ones that leak. And typically they're not. They're the ones that got leaked on. That's what makes them so ugly. So, but this doesn't look ugly like that. It just looks old. And on the head of the barrel, 1948, I believe, is the year. You can check me on that. I may be off a year or two. I just know it was really old. But 1948, so it was this brandy that was distilled all the way back in 48, if that's in fact the year. But like I said, it's close. If it's not 48, it's 46 or somewhere around there. So this old brandy was, distilled and barreled in there. And then he buys the barrel after they dump out all the brandy. And then he creates this amazing whiskey that I'm going to pour and taste and tell you my thoughts on this. This is available at the ABV Barrel Shop for $100. That's the same retail that they have it available at the distillery as well. And again, if you like what I'm doing, if they still have some of this there, which they very well might, because I just got this recently, and again, it wasn't that long ago. They're quick turnaround in terms of getting us our product. We visited like a month ago, and then it took like 2 weeks. That's to get it bottled, get it shipped to us, go from the distributor to us, all that within a couple of weeks. And then we've had it, like I said, about 10 days or something like that. So it wasn't that long ago that we were there doing this pick. And sometimes those picks, gosh, it can last 6 months, a year. Some we picked when we first got the business going. We still don't have them. I basically written them off at this point, but maybe you just never know. Maybe one day we're going to get a call from a distributor and be like, hey, your barrel's coming in today. That's the crazy business that this is. So let's give this one a taste. Again, an 8-year-old high rye bourbon finished in a premium brandy cask. So let's see what we got here. I don't even know where you buy a cask from 1948. Where do you? So say I start my own company. I follow a means footpath here, footprints. And I'm like, hey, I own a liquor store. I'm getting out of that. I'm going to start my own source brand. I want to buy one of those barrels from 1948. Where do you go? I have no idea. There's people called barrel brokers, and maybe they find that, and maybe that's just in the inventory. And it's like, hey, we got this really special one here. You probably don't want it. It's really expensive, but I'm just going to throw it out there. We got this brandy cask from 48. You probably don't want it. It's way expensive. And then it was like, yes, I want that. I'll take that. That's how I imagine it going down, but I don't really know for sure how any of that went down. Didn't ask him about it, but it's because you might figure I'm trying to do that, which I'm not. I don't want to own a distillery. It seems like a tough gig to me. I have got so many good friends that make great whiskey. I never want to get into that. And then a source brand is a little bit more appealing because I don't have to do all that work myself. And again, I would never be as good as my friends. I could kind of pick and choose the barrels that I liked. And all that. That's a little bit appealing. It's kind of a different take on what I do now. I'm buying barrels, I'm tasting barrels, I'm buying barrels, kind of doing the same thing. That's a little bit more appealing, but again, it's also a lot of work. I mean, I don't think Amin's got it easy. I think that's a tough job that he's got there for sure. So, but I wish him the best because he is a great guy. Really was an excellent experience going there, and let's have some fun here by giving this one a taste. So let's see what we got. I mean, on the nose, you're getting a lot of notes here. You're getting some of the fruity notes of the brandy. You're getting some oak there, but you're also getting the classic bourbon nose on the nose here. We're talking caramel, vanilla, all those things that you would expect to happen in from a bourbon. So let's give it a taste and see what we got. So this one, to me, tastes like maybe, I remember a little bit of, remember they had goobers and raisinets? I guess the raisinets would be the one with the raisin. Makes sense. And the goobers were the one with the peanuts. Also makes sense. So kind of it's kind of a dark fruit taste that has certainly a little bit of a chocolate note there, caramel note. There's a little bit of spice there. And again, that's probably picking up from a high rye bourbon. You're going to get some of that spice and just a wonderful flavor. Drink so easy. Again, 104 proof. I like my high proof whiskey. It does stick with you a while, so the finish just kind of lingers in terms of that great taste, but it doesn't burn in any way at all. I mean, it just is a nice, really soft, easy drinker. I love it. I mean, this is a great whiskey by any stretch of the imagination. This would be someone just liked us on Facebook. Maybe they liked this video. It's not live, folks. That's not how it happened. But somebody just said, I don't know if you heard that, but that's what that noise was. It was our thing saying someone new liked us, our smearl or whatever however the hell you say that. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Great whiskey. Old Louisville. Check them out. They're on social media. Website is probably oldlouisville.com. I don't know that for sure, though, so you may want to check that out. I could do some research or something like that. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. Hey, on the screen right here. That's the website of Old Louisville. And that way I'll have to do it. Maybe it's Old Louisville Whiskey Company. I don't know. I'm going to know by the time I release this video, though, because you saw it on the screen. I did that. That doesn't happen accidentally. It's not like, oh, YouTube put that in there for them. No, that's work that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it for you in this video. So there you go. That's a little bit about Old Louisville. That's a little bit about this specific pick, our Brandy cask finish here at the ABV Barrel Shop. It went on the Going Quick shelf, so we are down to, I can see it from here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 bottles left. That's all we got left as I record this video. It comes out on Friday, the 27th, I don't know, whatever the date is on Friday at the end of July. So that's what we have going into that. We'll see. I don't think it's going to last very long. So if you want one, come by and see us here at the ABV Barrel Shop. That's it. Old Louisville, Brandy cask finish. See ya.